Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, and it's a delight to have you with us today. We bring you this midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration to keep you consistently moving forward, excited, and inspired about your life. Today, we're going to give you some extra juice with our guest, Leslie Clayton, to support you in activating your body temple. And we'll dive into that a little bit more so that you are really bringing your body, mind, and soul into alignment. So I'm really grateful to have Leslie with us today. Welcome, Leslie.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Yeah.
Yes, we are glad you're here. So thank you for that. Quick updates about the wonderful world of Women's Prosperity Network. So first of all, kudos to all of you who showed up for our monthly networking with a twist. I know that there were great connections made, and now the time is to connect even further. And in fact, we've got an opportunity for you to do that within our community. We've got an intensive speaker training and boot camp happening today, tomorrow, and Friday, just 2 hours a day. We call it the business of speaking, and you can get the information to register for that at the website. So just go to the events tab and it'll take you to all of the trainings we offer, including the one that starts today. So if you're someone who has said, I want to reach more people and I want qualified leads, this is the workshop for you. So join us today at the business of speaking. And that's kind of what we're doing here now. We're speaking, we're having a conversation so that we can learn all about Leslie and the ways that she supports you in living your best life by activating your body temple, creating a conscious connection between body, mind, and soul. For those of you who don't know Leslie yet, let me share a little bit about her and her background. She is the founder of the Body Awareness Studio located in Atlanta, near Atlanta,
Yeah.
Georgia. And her passion for Pilates and movement is evident in her teaching and commitment to nurturing the next generation of Pilates professionals. Through her leadership, the Body Awareness Studio has become a beacon of excellence in Pilates education and holistic health, fostering a supportive and transformative environment for both clients and trainees. She offers one-on-one Pilates training in her studio. She does teacher training for Pilates professionals to get out there. And Leslie brings a unique combination of a variety of healing modalities for the body, mind, and soul so that your body temple is activated to live your best life. So welcome.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, it's nice to get to know myself through your introduction. Wow,
Yes.
that's great.
And I'll start off by saying I had the pleasure of actually attending a conference at sea. We were at a cruise together called High Vibes on the High Seas, and Leslie led an experiential activity having to do with sound. And it was really fun and woke up things in my spirit and my body in a really magical way. So I am thrilled that you're here today to drop in some of your wisdom and suggestions on how we can create a greater conscious connection. So let's dive in. You've been in Pilates and Pilates instructions for many years, a couple of decades, I would guess.
Yeah, we're finished 3 decades. We're moving into our fourth decade.
Wow, that is so exciting. And how did this passion come up for you? Like, why Pilates as the foundational piece?
So I will say it was divinely guided for sure. I didn't choose it, it chose me in a way. I was a professional ballet and modern dancer, and I taught dance locally here. And I had a car accident that was pretty severe. I got T-boned in the driver's door. One side of my body had fractures from the shoulder to the hip. And that was in 92. And I was a professional dancer at that time. And during the recovery process, I was introduced to Pilates. And I did not make the conscious choice in that moment to become a Pilates instructor, it kind of evolved into, about a year after that, somebody asked me if I knew what Pilates was. And I said, yes. And they said, well, we just had this most amazing experience in Canyon Ranch. And we came back to Atlanta and there's nobody teaching Pilates. And we want to get a Pilates reformer, but nobody has one here that they knew of. And
Hmm.
Canyon Ranch recommended the Balanced Body owner, which at that time was called Current Concepts. I just want to give a shout out to Current Concepts, Ken Endelman. And they said, we want to learn. Would you be willing to go learn so you could teach us? I would just happen to be the ballet teacher for one of their daughters. So that kind of got it sparked. And I just really it was very divinely guided. I was asked to assist them. And I just said yes all along the way. And a lot of yeses
Hmm.
landed me where I am now, I would say.
Yeah. And how many, I don't even know if you know this answer, how many
Mhm.
instructors have you trained in these past 3 decades?
Actually, I don't even have a number. Thank you for asking that. I've never thought about that. Yeah, I've been teaching teachers kind of gradually since 1998. And
Wow.
then so I had developed my own, out of necessity, a teacher training program at the Body Awareness Studio here in Atlanta, just because we needed teachers and I wasn't probably qualified to teach teachers, but I was like, I needed people to work here. So I started teaching them what I needed them to know so they could help me help my clients. And then I guess it was 2008, I joined the Balanced Body Education. So it has, and there's really a big boom right now in Pilates. So
Hmm.
we actually have about 23 students coming up this weekend, brand new to the program. So
Wow,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
extraordinary,
it's
extraordinary, so
growing.
good.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, what is the basis of Pilates? Like, I hear things about it, but why is it so good? Give me that.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Well, Pilates brings us into a new awareness and a relationship to our body in relationship to the ground, to gravity. So when you're, and just like all exercise, yoga, fitness, athletics, but there's a slowing down and a reconnecting so that you're consciously, mindfully moving in relationship to gravity, your posture, your breathing. And then you add resistance training onto that because of the spring tension that we're using. And you're creating a very dynamic connection to the connective tissue in your body, the breath in your body, and you're reshaping, I want to say, all the way to the cellular awareness, because the way you bring your mind and your the relationship with your body, with your mind through those movements, you can reshape the way you're being with yourself and physically, because it can be a physical reshaping, it's a mental reshaping, and there's that emotional quality, that zest for life, if you will. With Joe Pilates would use the word zest for life. And so when he talked about mind, body, and spirit, he was talking about the aliveness that you feel
Hmm.
through that oxygenation, that pumping through the system. Yeah. So we're
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have never done Pilates. I'm a yoga practitioner, and I really enjoy that, and I can feel that connection there. And
Hmm.
Pilates is coming up. Like I had yoga come up in my consciousness for a long time, and then I finally
Hmm.
did it. And Pilates keeps showing up over and over and over again. So I suspect I'll be doing that. But here's a question: I live in
Hmm.
Florida, and you're in Atlanta. How can you help me with Pilates?
Well, we do have some online. We have one online class that's kind of a qigong, breath, and Pilates
Mm.
on Wednesdays at 10:20. There are some videos. We're just putting together a membership site that will have
Oh,
some
nice.
online, recorded videos that you can participate in. And so that's how I can support you. And one-on-one virtually, we can do a lot one-on-one virtually. We can do postural checks, energy checks, and
Mm.
then provide you with some really good, simple exercises that we'll do today with those of you on the call, just to kind of feel how do you use your awareness with posture, with resistance with your own body, with breath to create a core connection. And yeah, so that is how, those are how. And if you're ever in Atlanta, just pop in. And of course, there's Pilates almost on every corner. So it doesn't have to be with
Yes,
me.
there,
I encourage you
there
to.
is.
It's starting to pop up
Yeah. And
everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, and anybody else listening in or watching, feel sitting up a little straighter, like I can feel myself being more intentional with how I'm
Huh?
sitting in my chair. So thank you for that. And you got me a little excited when you said we were going to do some things today.
Sure.
So what do you got in mind?
Well, I would like to say that, with this also, I would just want to plug the Activate Your Body Temple piece that you started with. So it's a combination of the Pilates and also just how you're being in relationship to your body, because in a way, you're not your body at all. You're not your body, but your body is you. Like your body is a
Mm,
reflection of you, but you're not your body. So, what I'd like to start with is just an awareness of that higher mind, witnessing the physical body, witnessing the sensations in the body, and then we'll gradually add some breath with that. And then how to use the breathing to enhance the inner core. So,
mm,
inside the closest to your spine, there's muscles that work with the breathing that create a strength for that inner line, that vertical axis with like heaven and earth in the body,
mhm,
connecting through the heart. Then there's the movement, moving off the plumb line of gravity, moving back on to the plumb line of gravity, and how that relationship is bringing you into presence with your core. So we'll play with those things. And so is that, any questions about that, or did I answer
Yeah,
your question?
yeah, you did. You answered me beautifully.
Okay.
And I love when you were talking about you're not your body, but your body is you. Is that how you said that?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
because yeah, you're not your body. Your soul is your soul, and this temple, this body is like a sacred temple that you get to live in while you're here, while you're walking around on the planet. And so what we, when and I'm just going to add one more thing, if you don't mind indulging me for one more thought, and that is that the other thing that we're looking at is how the elements of nature are a part of this mix. So the earth element is this, it's what we see. It's the beauty around us. It's the final manifestation of what we are creating, right? So your body in the elemental teachings is the earth element, right? It's all the elements, but it
Yeah.
shows up in a physical, like a plant, like a tree. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it, and it has all the elements in it. The mind, so we're going to be working the mind, and that's the air element. The air element, you can't really see it, right? It's like you can see
Mhm.
it when the leaves are swirling, you can see it when the trees are moving, and it's moving. There's movement to the air, and the mind is very, very fast. It's the most subtle of those elements. You can't really see it, but you can feel it in its action, right? It's
Yeah.
moving. And the water element in the body, that's our emotion. So the electromagnetic, the way that your mind and the water element are swimming together, the mind, the air is programming the emotional quality, right? The frequencies that we're being in this moment. So you can choose to shift the frequencies through the awareness,
Mhm.
so the importance of coming into stillness with this work is, and that's how you can come. So we always start our classes with moments of stillness, presence, breathing, slowing down so that you can actually know where you are, so that you can know where, who you are and where you're going. So you have to pause and know where you are,
Yeah.
right? And then you
And
can make conscious choices to make those
right. So I'm
shifts.
right. So I'm thinking in this moment when you were talking about emotions as the water element, moving and, the frequency that goes on. If I was, hooked by my emotions and feeling worried or scared or fearful,
Yeah.
recognizing that, oh, that's the element I'm in. And then do you shift and focus on get still and say, is this really what I want to be feeling and experiencing? And then create a shift around it.
Sometimes it's that easy. So
Mhm.
so when you can identify where you are, I'm stressed, I'm fearful. When you can identify that, then you can catch it, right? You can interrupt the
Yeah.
program, you can catch it. Your higher mind can witness it, and then you can make a new conscious choice. And then
Mm.
the tools that we offer are really practical pathways to bring yourself back when
Mhm.
you get offline. So you can get offline physically by being, hunchback or slouching. You can be offline mentally by, that worrisome thinking. And then that can program the emotions where you can just be in the water and you're like, that's the moment. But then
And
you
that's
can,
why the emotion is, I'm drowning. I never associated
yeah.
those two things before.
And then emoting. And it's like we need all of them, and you can't really separate them out. We can take our higher mind and witness like what's missing in the balance of things, like what's
Mm.
overflowing, and where, if the mind is like running, la, 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 I'm not even in my body sometimes because
Yeah.
as a business owner, I've got my mind, I'm teaching my client, and I've got my mind thinking of some deadline I have to get to, but I have to teach my client. I want to be present with my person while I'm with them. So how do I bring myself back in order for my client to have in that relationship? That's the water element as well. So it's not just what's happening in my own emotions. It's how am I standing in my center and choosing to be present and joyful, however I can be in the most centered place for my client to get the most out of their experience with me today. So it's a
That was,
choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a powerful explanation, with the practical ramifications. If we don't learn how to do this, how to activate our body
Yeah.
temple and consciously choose
Yeah.
whatever's going on out there, how do I consciously choose so that I can be operating from my highest self?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really
Mm-hmm.
good. So you've said that breath work, core strength, and mindfulness are the three key elements that you teach us to use. And can you give us some tips today or practices that we can start using? And let me say this, everyone. I know today you are going to get an experience and some tools to bring you back into, alignment with your body temple, with all those aspects. And I don't know about you, but there are things I've picked up or learned in the past and then quickly forgot. It was like, oh, I'll use that. I'll remember that. We've got to, which is why I love that you offer your online program for activating your body temple so that I can become practiced at it and it becomes consistent and habitual to go there rather than my old habits, of getting stuck in my swirl, so to speak, and not being fully present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
take in what she's got to share today, and then take a look at her online course called Activating Your Body Temple so that we can stay in flow and stay in practice. So I'm ready if you've got something to give me to experience.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So wherever you are, you can be sitting for this. Sitting is good. You can also stand for this. And this will be, we'll be here for a few minutes. So be comfortable. And I'm going to assume everybody's sitting. So I'm going to speak to you as if you're sitting. And I'm just going to ask that your feet be planted firm, in alignment on the ground. So you're not rolling, your feet aren't tucked under your chair, but you've got your feet positioned flat on the ground. And just like roll to the outer edges of your feet, roll to the inner edges of your feet, and just kind of tune into the physicalness of how your whole
Mm.
leg might start to change its relationship to gravity as your feet change, right? Your knees might roll out as your feet roll to the outer edges, your hip joint changes. What's kind of really cool also about that is all the way at your base of your spine, at the base of your spine, your tailbone and your sacrum are also going to have a little bit of response to your feet moving. And if you allow the response to naturally happen, you might feel that when you roll to the outer edges of your feet, your tailbone kind of curls under and you rock back a little bit in your chair. When your feet roll in, maybe your sacrum wants to come up, your lower back wants to arch. It's just maybe. Yours might do something different, but there is a relationship between the bones in your feet, your ankles, your knees, your thighs, your hip joint, your sacrum, your tailbone, all the way up your spine will start to respond. So now just kind of play with that in your chair for a minute, like rolling to the back of your sit bones, your tailbone, rolling to the front of your sit bones, your pubic bone will kind of drop forward, your back will arch. And just see how your spine responds to the movement of your pelvis now. You can leave your feet flat now and just let your tailbone and your pelvis be the leader now. Now the sacrum, the tailbone, the spine is having its little dance. And I kind of look for the water element through the tissue. Your bones are formed through connective tissue. So they're not really hard, rocky things. They have aliveness and blood flow and lots of fluid coming through those bones. That's good connective tissue. Then find a new spot on your pelvis where, if you can imagine, the base of your pelvis is shaped actually like a diamond. So the front of the pubic bone is front of pelvis, coccyx bone, base of spine is back of pelvis. Then those two sitting bones that you're sitting on are the two sides of the diamond. So you have this diamond at your pelvic floor and it's facing straight down. And then at the crown of your head, just maybe tap a little bit. I'm just going to give a little bit of tapping on my crown chakra. La 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 la. My root chakra is facing straight down. My crown's facing the sky. Pineal gland inside the brain is looking up. Hey, hey, looking up at the sky and to that cosmic higher self. Hey, it looks straight up, and the pelvic floor is looking straight down. So I've got this alignment from heaven and earth moving through my temple, my body temple. And then just let your hands rest wherever they want to rest and say hello to that distance from the crown of your head to the base of your spine at your coccyx bone and pelvic floor. And just let's be with that for a minute. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut my mouth and just breathe with you. Just be in that awareness of the distance and the space. You can have your eyes opened or closed. As you're breathing in and breathing out, see if you can notice that there's a tunnel or a tube of light that goes from the cranium all the way to the pelvic floor and maybe to the center of the planet. If you know how to create a grounding cord, sometimes we picture the tailbone having a tail, like a fiber optics or a tree with roots. And just know that your electrical system from your brain through all the nerves and pathways through your spine, they talk to all the organs. And when that alignment is connected with the earth, and you have this awareness that you have a connection to the cosmos, you're in the center, in the heart, and the breathing tube is right. You're just breathing through that breathing tube, as well as the breath that's moving in through your nose, into your lungs, exchanging with that carbon dioxide and moving it back out. So we've got this relationship to the body with gravity right now. You're aligned beautifully. We've got this breathing that's like an expansion and a contraction, this beautiful, fluffy, gentle. I'm not going to say take a big breath, y'all. I'm just going to say breathe gently. Just breathe very gently. No technique needed. Your body knows how to breathe. And you're just witnessing that. So I'm just going to close my mouth again and breathe through my nose. I invite you to breathe through your nose as well for this. So you have the awareness of your spine. See, I can't keep my mouth shut. And you have the awareness of the movement of the breath. And the aliveness of the breath is like a kind of food that you're bringing in to the tissue of your body. Your body loves that oxygen. It loves it. See if you can just feel the juiciness of the breath and how it sort of creates a sparkly aliveness throughout the cells in your system and the mitochondria all the way to those cells. Just settle into that. Settle into the support that you can feel from the ground. Relax your shoulders and let your spinal column have lift, even while your shoulders are so soft. They're relaxed. The spinal column floats tall. We're going to add something. So on your next exhale, place your hands on your lap, press down into your thighs with the palms of your hands, not your shoulders though. If you feel the muscles of your shoulders or neck get tight, then you pushed too hard. So just let those muscles go and then relax the press of your hands. Keep the alignment of your spine. Take another breath. And on your next exhale, gently press down with your hands into your thighs. Your feet have ground. Your navel gently falls back towards the sacrum, towards the lumbar spine, the back of your body. And then on your inhale, just relax that, but keep the lift that you found in the center line of your spine from the cranium to the pelvic floor. Very lifted, breathing tube is tall. Each time you exhale, repeat that process of pressing into the skin of your hands, into the skin of your thighs. You'll feel the belly wall flatten back towards your spine, hopefully, just a little gentle flattening. So we're activating your inner core by using the palms of your hands. And the palms of your hands through connective tissue, the intelligence, the biointelligence of this system is giving you access to the deepest layer of your abdominal wall. If you start to feel like there's tension building in your neck or there's something uncomfortable, move your body to a more comfortable position and see if you can find ease, relative ease while you're deepening there. We're going to add something. I'm not sure how much time we have, Nancy. So please tell me, how much time do I have with this exercise that we're adding?
Keep it going. It feels really
Okay.
good.
Okay. So once you feel that that lower core has kind of gathered in, see if you can now stop pressing with your hands, but maintain a gentle sense of deep core connection. So I'm inhaling and my rib cage expands all around my lungs, like front, side, and back. The crown of the head and pelvic floor are still facing the sky. My hands no longer need to press to give me that connection. I found it. Now, something new is coming. So I'm going to lower my camera just a little bit and turn to the side so you can see my waist. I'm going to go really long here. I'm going to tip at my hip joint to lean forward off the plumb line of gravity. And now I'm just going to return. I'm bringing my spine into alignment. I'm going to lean at my hip joint off the plumb line and I keep my spine tall. Now I'm using my feet to bring me back into this area. Sometimes it's easy to use your hands to help you feel that connection. Sometimes some people have a little harder time feeling. If you have root chakra issues, we want to open the hands and the feet, or the feet rather, to the base of the spine. So I'm not using my quadricep muscles. I'm trying to relax those. I'm pressing into my feet and I'm feeling a response into here, similar to the response I had with my hands, but now it's different. It's coming from the roots into the pelvic floor, into the lower core. Okay, so we got our hands to our spine, we got our feet to our spine. I hope that you were able to access that feeling. Nice, and we've already got our center line breathing. So now let's do something a little different. You kind of have activated your inner core. We've got a lot of it. Anything else that we throw onto this mix is just like super califragilistic. Okay, it's like it's all good. And that's it. Okay, this is the last piece. And this is very, very simple. You can be in line with gravity. You can lean back in your chair to work your core more. That's going to be a different feeling. You can
Mhm.
choose. You can be off the plumb line to the side, but you're just trying to keep that waist very centered. You can go around a circle, going from sit bone to sit bone. So I'm tipping my sit bones off the plumb line, on the plumb line, but my core is active.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
You feel how you're using your core to
Yeah, yeah,
keep all
yeah.
that. So that awareness of that inner trunk. So if you have lower back issues, neck issues,
Feels really
hip,
good.
yeah, you can kind of change. Now, sometimes we roll the pelvis and roll around and we get all loose in there. And sometimes, we want to play in different ways. But right now, I just want to give you that sense of core. Now, here's the last piece with that. Okay, this is the last piece. This is really cool. All right, y'all. This is serious business. So we're going to sit in our alignment. This is the most important thing that you're going to get from today. So come on now. All right, listen up. So you find your alignment. You're in that breathing flow, heaven and earth. Bring it into your heart. See if you can settle into all of the relaxation that you found in your body. Super relaxed, but still have that little bit of activation in your core, your inner core. Only enough energy down in the pelvis that everything else can still be soft in the neck and shoulders. It's still easy to breathe. Okay, here it comes, y'all. Listen up. I'm going to start to stretch the corners of your mouth outwards, just a little, just a little. Not too much now. Relax while you do that. While your lips are being stretched out, they might curve up just a little, just a little. Now keep that softness that you found, that little bit of inner core, and see if you can breathe that heart light up into the upper palate of the roof of your mouth. And notice that there's an inner smile. It's kind of like the Buddha or the Bodhisattva. And when you breathe from your heart up to the upper palate, it goes up into your brain. And we're going to bring that floating lotus up into our pineal gland. Our pineal gland is looking straight up to the heavens. Our spine, our pelvic floor has roots to the earth. We're so relaxed in the tissue and the connective tissue around, but we have this little teeny inner smile blooming. And see if that inner smile and that lotus that you pulled up into the pineal, as it's shining this light, it's beautiful and bright. See if you
Mhm.
can just sense and feel that it's shining right into your heart. So you're linking your heart and the center of your mind with every breath. That's a pure choice right there, y'all. That's a pure
Yes.
choice. You can choose it any time. It's yours. I'll finish with that.
Mm, that was yummy. Tell me in the chat
Yeah.
or in the comments, how yummy was that for you? I want more, please. I feel the minute that you brought us into the first piece of this activity, I felt an aliveness in my body. Like I was
Mhm.
pretty unconscious of my body before that, right?
Mhm.
And I think what this is bringing is an awareness of my body and more alignment with the totality of my existence. That sounds really big, everyone, but that's just what came up for me.
Right, right. We're so small and so big. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And you're not your
yeah,
body. You're not your body, but your body is you. I mean, yeah.
that was
And
really
how you're
great.
being. Yay. Thank you for
Yay.
inviting me on today.
Yeah, this is so good. Let me share with everyone how you can continue in this practice and continue working with Leslie from wherever you are in the world. She has an online program called Activate Your Body Temple. So tell everybody about that while I gather the link, and then we're going to open up for some questions. So if you have questions or comments for Leslie, this is your time to bring those to the table. So tell us, what is the online course, Activate Your Body Temple?
Thank you. Yeah, so there's a couple ways you can play. It's meant to be a year-long program if you choose to do that. And so we're just getting it started. You'll have January through December of content of looking at the elements of nature within the months and how they relate to the sun and the moon. And as you know, it's for women and men. It's based on the the mystery schools of the elements and the Isis, the goddess, and how these these teachings can help us heal our body and remember ourselves. And so when you have access to the membership site, you'll have that content, and you have what's more available right now, because I'm still building that out, is the once a month we get together for a class like you just had with me right here, where we'll tune in, we'll go into some movements, some breaths, some meditations, and we're consciously healing ourselves through the meditations with the elements of nature and presence, breath, awareness, and some exercises, right? And you'll have access to those anytime you want. And so you can do drop-in. You can just show up it's the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Except February, I'm going to be out of town, so it might be the second month. And then if you choose to be in the membership, you can have access to all of the content anytime. You can just tune in. But if you want to just drop into those monthly calls, it's available for anybody. You don't have to be a member to drop in.
Wow, that's great. So I recommend everybody get an experience. So February, the date is going to be switched. So it'll be the second Wednesday.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm wrong. It's the first one. It's March that I am going to be out of town, the first week of March.
Good,
But in
good.
February, I will
So
be here. It's 7 p.m. the first
February 5th.
That's right.
It is. It's good. So yeah, 7 p.m. And imagine, here's what's coming for me right now. I look forward to experiencing this at the end of my day also. Like, it's a great way to start my day at the end of my day to bring me back. Right? I'm out here all day long. Let's come back. And what I want to get practiced at is coming back during the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Having that conscious awareness for all of those pieces. Let me go ahead and share the link. I've put it in the chat here on Zoom. I've put it on the comments in Facebook. For those of you that are on the phone, grab your pen and you want to go to bodyawarenessstudio.com/activate. Nice and simple. bodyawarenessstudio.com/activate. And you can join the membership, or if you just want to drop in and give it a go, you can do that. And it's a pay what you can model. So, whether it's $10, $30, whatever it is that you've got, go ahead and give yourself this gift. And, I think about, if I spent $10 or $20 for this class, it's less than the bottle of wine I might drink, and much better for my body.
Yeah.
All right, this is the time for us to take some questions. Molly Welch, you have a question. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask directly? You can if you would like to. Otherwise, I will ask for you. So, Molly, if you want to unmute yourself. Hi, Molly.
Yeah. Hey, I was just wondering, is there, I'm partially, I have hemiparesis on my right side. So I was wondering if there are options in this program that allow for people with disabilities.
I'm going to say yes, because the kind of like we did everything that can be done physically can be done mentally and emotionally. Like you can tap into the parts of your body that may not be able to do the full movement, and you can visualize, sense, and feel it, and your brain and your body are going to be getting the medicine from the movement, even if it's through the mental awareness and the sensing that you bring in. You'll sense the sensations of feeling that movement with your mind is very healing to the brain and the body. Absolutely. And you would
Gotcha.
just limit the things. Absolutely.
Excellent, Molly. I'm so glad you asked that question and are, exploring how this can support you. Like, what a beautiful thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. So yes, go to bodyawarenessstudio.com/activate, and you'll get all the information on the course and how you can drop in and or join the membership. I'm seeing some of the comments. Yummy Yummy says Carolyn. Sue TK says Leslie Clayton is amazing.
Thank you.
And I would agree with all of that. So if you have questions or comments, this is the time to bring those to the table. So raise your hand if you're with us on Zoom, or unmute yourself if you're on your phone. And then if you're with us on Facebook, you can just put your question in the comments and I'll go ahead and bring that to the table. I have another question. I've not heard about this relationship to the 4 elements and the body in this way before. How did you learn that, or how'd you come about that piece? Because that's a new aspect that layers in something that connects me with nature, and I feel like all the answers are always in nature anyway.
There's a lot of answers in nature, and if you look
Yeah.
to all the cultural, the different tribes of our world, there's relationship to nature, to spirit. So there's 5 elements that we're looking at, and the earth is one. And earth teaches us to stand on our own. Earth teaches us about beauty, the cycles and the seasons. We witness the seasons. We learn so much through the seasons and the cycles. Our body has seasons and cycles. So that's the earth. The water is the emotional. Like I said, the water can change form. It can turn to ice. It can steam. Water is transmutive. It's our relationship to the emotional realm and our relationship to others. As waters of the world, a drop of water in the ocean somehow is connected to every drop. Our feet in the body is part of the waters of the world, and in our body, the feet is the water element of Pisces. And when we're stepping on the planet, the water and our body is connecting with the electromagnetic energy of the earth, and we're connecting with humanity through our gentle footsteps on the mother of the earth. The air is the mind, and it's that fast, thinking, but it's like the ability to tap in, catch the mind, center, witness, all that. The mind is the spirit coming into the body. It's our little idea babies that we have. We have all these ideas, and then they got to be born, right? But they can't be born if we don't take action. So that's the fire element. So the fire is the movement, but you have to have a clear thinking. Air teaches us about focusing our thoughts with clear action, so that when you take that fire action, you get the results you want. You want to get, if you don't plan your trip, it might take you a lot longer to get there. But when you plan your trip, it costs less money too. I found if you think about it, plan it, you're gonna trim tab a lot by focusing your mind to take those actions. Right.
Even if you think about in its simplest form, if I'm going on vacation and I pack my little umbrella with me, or I don't pack it, I don't plan ahead, I don't take my umbrella, and it starts pouring, and now I need to spend 10 or 20 bucks to buy an umbrella.
There you go.
It's simple, but powerful.
Yeah, so I usually start things with, the physicalness of where am I? So I can look
Yeah.
at the physical form, I can look at the facts, because the earth element is the facts, right? And then the last element is spirit, which is ether, and spirit is it's everything. It's everything. It's God in the body, it's space, it's prana, it's chi, it's life force. And then I learned this through the priestess process. That was a process developed by a woman named Nicole Christine. And you can look up the priestess process. And I think we even have a priestess on the call today, Starfire Orb Weaver is
Mhm.
a facilitator of the priestess process. And I did 8 circles, like it's a women's circle, and it's a 9-month process of birthing yourself. But it's not just for women, it is men and women. Some facilitators have circles, and some just focus on the women's work of, the healing. I'm also a survivor of sexual abuse, childhood sexual abuse. So this was a very important part of my healing journey, to embody my body, to embody my wholeness, to love the parts with all the bumps and the lumps and the things that I was having a hard time loving about
Mhm.
myself. So this is a beautiful process. It worked well for me, and it worked beautifully for many, many people. So sometimes the church pathway is a little bit gradient on healing sometimes. And so this was more for my process of healing. Yeah, so it's called the
Wow.
priestess process. Mhm.
So look that up, and Starfire, who's with us today, probably can share some information about that as well. So that's beautiful. Um, Thank you for giving us this experience, for sharing your wisdom, your intuition, and your expertise. Right? Those are
You're
the three
welcome.
things, that trifecta that you bring is your wisdom, your expertise, and your intuition to support us in this beautiful way. Everyone,
Thank
go
you.
to bodyawarenessstudio.com/activate, and let's keep on activating our body temple.
Stay in it, y'all. Stand tall. Thank
Stand
you. Thanks for
tall.
having me. Yes,
Awesome.
stand tall.
Uh, all
All
right,
right.
beautiful. Once again, thank you, Leslie, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this
Yeah.
Wow Wednesday. Watch this over and over again and go to the class on February 5th so that you can activate your body temple and create that conscious connection between mind, body, and soul. Have an amazing Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bye, Leslie.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.